Right, I hope you're all staying safe out there until the next review. I'll wish you all a what? Fucking sweat. Right, cut. Right then guys, welcome to the channel. Right, today's review is the Uwell Crown 5 tank here. Now I've got a UK version, so obviously this one only holds 2 ml of juice. And I purchased it from vapingstyle.co.uk. Quicker look around the packaging here, it just shows you a bit about it, worn in there. And the sleeve comes off and then you're presented with a nice, strong, sturdy box with Uwell written on it there. Like I said, I got this from Vaping Style, which is a brand new company, which is basically a venture from a Flat Hat Vapor's wife. Vapingstyle.co.uk if you want to check it out. Right, so for an aftermarket purchase, you can get the 5mm tank, which isn't that one, it's this one here. The spare bubble glass costs you about £3 extra, but the shop also sells that, which is good. Right, inside the box you do get your instruction manual here. You also get a spare 2mm glass tank. There's a little warning card here and some spare O-rings. You also get 2 coils in here, but we'll have a look at those in a minute. Now, I actually purchased some spare coils as well. I've got a 5-pack of coils. I went for the 0.30 ones, but you can buy these from vapingstyle.co.uk as well. Right, onto the tank then. Right, here it is then. So we've got 510 fitting drip tip. There's no O-rings on it though, so it's just press fit in there, just like that. I think you can put other ones on here. Yeah, it does fit in there, so that's not too much of a problem. Right, put that one back in there. That's what we're looking like inside of there. Just get the Atty stand. In fact, get the calipers in there. So 8.37 is your bore, so it's quite airy, to be honest, that is. Right, as you can see there, the top cap does spin round, so to open it you actually have to push and it locks into place and pull round, sort of on a bayonet. So yeah, it's a bit springy, this particular one is. Yeah, it's not my favourite cap. We've also got top fill, but like you see, you've got one little gasket, so you need fine tip bottles and there's no air escape valve, so I find it really hard to fill up, especially if you've not got a fine tip bottle. But yeah, so the cap works, a couple of notches in there and they line up in there, so you just sort of spin it around until it goes into place, push down and then towards you. Now it's locked. It's sort of like got the old childproof. It's like the old pill containers, so unless you push down you can't open it. So that's good, but sort of does make a bit of a noise there. But anyway, look on the bottom. We've got Uwell Crown 5 stainless steel. Well, it's not stainless steel. It says myuwell.com. I'm going slowly blind in my old age. CE normal sort of mark in there. Don't dispose in a bin. That actually means. We've got, it looks like a black insulator in there and a floating 510. So do not use this on a hybrid mechanical device. Adjustable airflow then, so you've got fully open. Have we got 3 on here? 1, 2, yeah, 3 holes on here, fully open. You can put it in between. What you do on one will be the same on the other 2. Locks in closed or open positions, just like that. Bit of branding going around there. I do like the paintwork on here. It looks pretty nice, to be honest. So unscrew it just like that. Let's get this epoxy glass tank off because I don't like it. That's going to be easy said and done. Right, it's a couple of O-rings around here and there is one up the top as well. So if you want to get your other tank in, there's your marker that says min for the juice. There's the Uwell Crown logo there. Plug your glass on, just like that, and then you can get your coil. All right, the 2 coils I have, we've got this one here, which is the UN2-2 one, the 0.30, which I have been using obviously But there you go, you've got the dual mesh situation. Make sure you prime this up and use good and proper drop juice down there as well before you take a pull. Here's the other one, the UN2 coil, I believe this one is. Right, we got some e-liquid from Big D Vapes here, VPR Berry Bomb. So let's try a bit of that. I've already used this coil, but it's still okay. So we just drop some e-liquid down there, around the sides as well. And get your tank, and it should just plug in. So we've got one O-ring there, one there. So just push it down and it should just go into place just like that. Get your tank. Right, there's your contacts on the bottom of the tank. This is on threads, the bottom bit. So get that nice and tight and then just fill it up through there and you're ready to vape. So let's go back up top now and tell you what I think about the Uwell Crown 5 kit or tank. Right, we're up top. We've got the Uwell Crown 5 tank here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Welcome to the channel. Right, I purchased this one from vapingstyle.co.uk. Here's the card here. It's a brand new venture from Flat Cap Vapor's wife, Gemma. And the site's only been up a couple of months or so, but this is where I purchased it from. I think I paid $23.50 for the actual tank with the 2 coils. I bought the bubble glass as well. I think it was like £3, something like that. But they did have a bit of an offer going on, so I do believe I got 10 or 15% off at the time. So do check out vapingstyle.co.uk and follow them on social media, stuff like that, and they may have offers up from time to time. So big thanks for the turnaround on that one, Gemma. It came within a couple of days, so very happy with that. I think it's free delivery if you spend over 40 quid as well. Now, obviously, there's not a horrendous amount of stuff on there at the moment because they've only just set up, but there are a couple of RDAs, a few tanks and pods and stuff like that. So do check it out, guys. Right, so on to the Uwell Crown 5 review then. Now, anything I say here has got nothing to do with vapingstyle.co.uk because I have had a few issues with this tank, and this is obviously manufactured by Uwell. So any issues I have are between me and the company, nothing to do with where I purchased it from. Right, so the tank then. So we've got this top fill, nothing wrong with that, although it does make a noise when you do that, but you're not going to be doing that when you're vaping it. And when you go like that, it doesn't actually make a noise. But I'm not an avid fan of it, but I know what they're doing. They've got this child lock thing, so it makes it so a child isn't just going to pick it up and empty it out. So that is good that they've done that, a little bit of safety in mind. So that is a pro in some respects. Now, one thing I've found with this, as you can see here, my glass tank is spinning round a little bit. So just going to try and tighten it up a little bit more. All right, that's a little bit better because I have had leaking issues with this. But what I suggest doing is making sure this is totally cranked down. Like, I've got no leaking at the moment, but as you saw there, the glass was a little bit loose. So you need to push down on that, the top cap and the bottom, and give it a good tightening up. And that should help out with any leaking issues. Right, onto the actual coils then. So we get the 0.3 ohm one and I think it's the 0.23 ohm one, which is the one I've got in here. The 0.3 ohm is the single wider bore mesh coil. This one is the dual mesh coil that comes to 0.23 ohms. Now, of the 2 coils, I prefer the 0.23 ohm coil, but we'll talk about both of them in a minute anyway, because what I'm finding is, especially if you're using max VG, 80-20 VG, 80% VG, this struggles with wicking, especially at the higher wattages. Around 30 watts it's not too bad, but if you start going up to like 50, 55 watts, you may find that it does struggle with the wicking and it will taste dry, which isn't awesome at all. So anyway, we've got it on the Vapor Drag 3 here. Review for that is already on the channel if you want to check it out. But right, let's give you a pull then. Let's put it up to 55 watts. I'm going to put the airflow fully open and just give you an airflow rating with the dual core one. Right, I've got a dry hit then, and I do believe the rating is supposed to be up around the 55 watt mark. So put it down to 50. Still getting a dry hit, and it's really harsh, a dry hit on mesh. I'm going to put it right down to 30 and then give you the airflow rating because I don't like getting those dry hits. Right, there's a restriction there, so there's no more than a 7 out of 10 for airflow. So I find you don't really need to adjust it down. When you've got the single core 0.3 ohm one, there is a little bit more airflow on it, maybe a 7.5 or 8 out of 10 for airflow, with 10 being super wide, 1 being a mouth-to-lung vape. Right, you might be saying, I haven't got that full of juice. Now, this is one of my cons, because I did try and fill it right up, but if you get your bottle, you are going to need a long tip bottle, much like this, to try and get it in there. But when you fill it up, it's okay at the moment. So you see that bit that you try to come out? Sometimes it gets like an airlock in it and you can only go halfway, and then it starts globulizing out the top because there's no air escape valve on the other side. So that is a bit of a design flaw in my opinion. So I've just filled it right up this time, but when I went to fill it earlier on, I could only get it halfway. But as you can see there, there's still a little bit of room in there. I just find it really hard to actually fill this one to the brim. But let's see if it can do 40 watts now. Right, that's about pushing it. I'm feeling that's going to go dry. If I go to 45. Yeah, I'm getting a dry hit on it, and oh, it's horrible, the mesh dry hit you get. So really, I'm only being able to go about 35 watts max. And even that is giving me a dry hit. Now, it's not just the cores that come with it. I tried another one of the 0.3 ohm mesh cores here, and I proper primed them up before I put them in there, so they're proper saturated. For the first few pulls you might be okay, but what I'm finding is with all three of the cores, even the single core one, I just can't put the wattage up without getting a dry hit, and I don't know why, but just give you another go. It's just unvapeable for me. So all three of the cores that I've got, I've got a sore throat in fact from that mesh dry hit I got. I'm not impressed with these cores at all because then it's not wicking up properly. And I do believe this juice is 70-30 PG as well, VG, 70% BG. So I haven't tried it anything lower than that because I don't like to go below 70 in my direct to lung because I get a bit of a PG intolerance. But for this Uwell Crown 5, all the cores, I can't put them up to the recommended wattages because it just doesn't wick. That one wasn't too bad. You can always take the top cap off and let any air escape. Sometimes helps with it. But yeah, overall with the Uwell Crown 3, the cores are just too unpredictable. And when I first got it, I thought, yeah, the flavour's really good on them as well. But in the course of time, I've had it a good few weeks now, and it just can't keep up the wicking, in my opinion. So for me, this one is a definite no-no. I don't like the fact that when you fill it up, sometimes you can't fill it at the top because there's no air escape valve. And the fact that the cores don't particularly work as they should do means that I can't recommend this tank. It's probably one of the worst sub-ohm tanks I've had, in fact. But anyway, that is that. It's just what I've got. Other reviewers, I suggest watching other reviewers. I haven't done yet, so I don't know what other people think of the Uwell Crown 5. But the 3 cores I've tried, I can't crank up the wattage, so you know, can't even go past 35 watts. So it can't be recommended from me. So that is that, guys. I want to say a big thanks to Gemma for sending it out, and nice swift delivery there. Do check out vapingstyle.co.uk. If I were you, I wouldn't go and pick up one of these, but there's plenty of other stuff on the site though. But yeah, so that is that, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, if you could hit the thumbs up icon, that would be great. If you're new around the parts as well, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well. You'll be notified of when my next video will be up. Right, I've got a website, guys. It's mfvape.co.uk, and I'm also on social media. Thanks for watching, guys, and until the next review, I will say cheers.